I don't know how I start this video. I'm probably just gonna end this here. It's a weird ending, but whatever.
Hi, can we talk?
It's that time of the year again where I feel sort of very exhausted. It's not exactly burnout, or I don't know. I don't think it is burnout because I've gone through a lot of burnouts before, so I know how it's felt like. But it's not exactly burnout, it's just sort of like temporary exhaustions and the feeling of being stuck in a rut, which I think in life, no matter where you are and what life stage you are, that's gonna just keep happening. Like, seriously, it's gonna just keep happening. Like, it's rarely gonna disappear and then reappear and then disappear and reappear throughout life phases and throughout life stages. And I would say that I think it started to appear the feeling of sort of like repetitive and being stuck in a rut, but like it's so hard to figure out a way to get out of that rut. I think it started to emerge in my teenage years when I was in puberty. That's when those feelings started to emerge, but it's not very strong because I don't know, there's just a lot of things that you're learning at that age. But right now, it's that time of the year again where I feel sort of exhausted temporarily and sort of stuck in a rut with a routine. I mean, life repeats itself, you know? You do the same thing every day. I mean, it's not exactly do the same thing every day, but like when you're gonna have to develop a routine and some discipline to repeat that routine every day. But while you also know that you have to get out of your comfort zone and try new stuff and meet new people and try new experiences or like maybe take on a challenge, you know, but at the same time, I'm also not sure anymore. You know, like you're so sort of like inside emotionally, you also feel not sure. And it's probably because you sort of are feeling temporarily exhausted. You feel sort of meh. You know, whatever. As we all have moments and periods in our life when we feel kind of stuck in a rut and we wanted to get out, but also you could say that you're out of batteries, energy batteries, or like social batteries, or like any sort of batteries, but it's not like forever. It's not a forever situation since life goes on, but like it's more like a temporary situation, but then it's keep repeating itself, you know, because the cycle of life repeats itself. You know, life, it's like you have a routine and then you keep having to try new stuff and take on new challenges and take on new experiences and like meeting new people and like just at the same time getting out of your comfort zone and like put yourself into uncomfortable situations and uncomfortable things to grow. But then you also have to continue that routine, and that routine make you feel sort of stuck in a rut. But it's broader than that because it's not just that routine, but it's also the cycle of life in general that make you feel sort of stuck in a rut. Like after work, after a long time of working and everything, you sort of wanted to go on vacation, but at the same time, you know that after that you have to go back to work, and then it repeats, and then on vacation and back to work and on. Like you're excited for new experiences, but at the same time, you feel sort of stuck in a rut, knowing how the trajectory go, and like it's just gonna keep repeating. Any sort of life phases would experience this, except if you're like very young, if you're like a kid, where everything is exciting and new and everything that's different. But like I think this sort of feeling started to emerge from teenage years. It emerges as boredom, teenage boredom. And with me, I feel sort of meh, like I because I know how it repeats itself, it's making me feel sort of bored, but at the same time I know I have to keep going, you know you have to keep going anyway, you have to keep doing it anyway, you have to keep following through the routine anyway and keep, just keep repeating, and then still at the same time take on new challenges and go out and do stuff, but at the same time you also feel sort of, like and before I started this series on my channel, I have an idea list, like a long list of things that I'm going to talk about, topics that I want to cover. Yet I also feel kind of stuck in a rut. I've been through this feeling multiple times throughout life phases, where also still having to following the list and keep moving on with life and keep doing new things and take on new challenges and like trying new stuff tend to bring you stressed a little. Those stress are sort of good because it's push you to grow. But I don't know, it's a common feeling that I know that there's no way that I'm the only one who experiences. We all have experienced and been through this at least once in our lifetime, and there's no way it's just once. Tell me. There's no fucking way it's just once. There's definitely, we go through this feeling multiple times in our life, which I think it started from teenagers when you sort of like understand life a little bit better. You understand social expectations and social cues a little better, and you have more of a routine at that age. I mean, it's sort of like we all feel different and in different mental and emotional headspace or state every day and every week and maybe every moment, every second, every minute. Depends on what it's happening or what has happened. That it could change our emotional and mental state right away. And depends on what's going on that specific day or specific moment or hours. And of course in our life. Obviously. It's sort of like being bored, at the same time exhausted. Of course, all this feeling is temporary since life goes on and different experience would provoke different emotions. But like, it's kind of like teenage boredom, but it's not exactly like that because you feel sort of more stuck than teenage boredom. There's not as much you can do as a teenager. I mean, but at the same time, you still sort of need to do stuff and running chores and running errands and keep going and keep, just keep lifing. Seriously, just keep lifing. But the fact that you know that this cycle of life just gonna keep repeating, fucking keep repeating itself, and it's sort of repetitive because you already know how it's gonna go, it sort of make you feel stuck because I already know that it's gonna keep being that way. Maybe I should not care about the fact that I know it. But like, I think the feeling of being stuck in a rut and exhaustions can happen in any situations or circumstances because that is in my case, that's how I feel like. Mine, it's more like a little bit more abstracted sense of being stuck in a rut and exhaustion because I sort of know the cycle of life that it's keep repeating like that, so it sort of make me feel stuck because I feel like, is there a way that I can broke out of that cycle? Like, it's sort of like that, but to many of you or like to different people, it's gonna be something like maybe you just hate your job, or maybe you just don't like the current friendships you have, or I don't know, maybe you just don't like some people in your life and you sort of like having to meet them every day and it repeats itself, or like maybe you just don't like the house you're living, maybe you just don't like the bed you're sleeping on, and like you sort of have to repeat it and sort of feel stuck. But I think being stuck in a rut, it's more like a overall life experience and lifestyle more than just a specific routine or specific thing about your life, because it's more like when we're saying that we're exhausted or like being stuck in a rut, it's more like an overall life experience right now, and it's most of the time it is temporary. It's not like forever. As long as you keep moving on and like life goes on, it's not going to be forever because you can't feel sad all the time, like you can't feel tired all the time. Emotions going to change because you have to keep moving and life goes on. It sounds like procrastinations, but it's not exactly like that. It's not exactly a procrastination because I still get things done. I still do things I need to do. I still get out and do new stuff and try new experiences and like do everything. But it's just like, I don't know. It's like, it's more of like an abstracted feeling inside. It's sort of like, that's just gonna be the way it is, but you have to keep sometimes sort of like forcing yourself to feel excited about it, because you're so exhausted to be excited because you already see the cycle is gonna just keep repeating itself again and again and again until the day that you die. I don't know, or maybe you just reach a certain life stage or life phase that you just sort of let everything go. I don't know. I think maybe when you're retired or like you reach retirement or anything, like you in that old age life phase, maybe it's gonna be different. You just sort of let it go and just sort of like repeat everything again without feeling stuck because it's just sort of how it is now. But like, at this life stage for me specifically, and I think that a lot of people could feel that the same throughout different life phases because it's sort of like a life cycle. It's just sort of repeats itself. I mean, I still feel excited for it. It's still making me nervy. Like, I mean, I still feel nervy about it. So it's just the feeling of trying new experiences or getting out of your comfort zone and meeting new people and like take on life challenges. Maybe going out sort of make you feel like, ugh, when thinking about doing it while you already know the whole life cycle and like the whole process. Like maybe it's more like a realization, oh, life's just gonna keep repeating like that. Or maybe I haven't been able to accept that fact. Or I have accepted it, but at the same time, I sort of feel like I don't know how to deal with it, It's kind of like now you have accepted the fact that you're hurt, or like your ego is bruised, but like you know and you're aware and you accept it, but you sort of also don't know what to do with it. It's like you come to a realization that, oh, my ego, it's bruised a little bit. It's got bruised. Like I got hurt. It hit my ego a little bit, but I don't know what to do with it. Like I'm aware and I know that it's happening, but I don't know what to do with it seriously. And it's sort of like a never-ending cycle of overcoming personal and physical comfort and life challenges and emotional pains. And like as we keep going and keeping our routine and keep trying new stuff and meeting new people, trying new experiences and take on new life challenges or more life responsibilities. I don't know, it depends. But it also means that a continuous circle of overcoming personal fears, personal comfort, and just pressure and stress. I guess it's figure out a new way to cope with it or like a more efficient way to cope with it. And then emotional pains, because these new experiences and routine in life just gonna keep bringing challenges and pressure and stress. It's these emotions never gonna disappear. It's just gonna keep repeating itself. While after the experience is done and its life goes on and you keep going, you face new ones. You face new pains, new growth, new lessons, new stress, new pressure, new friendships, new whatever new. It's just gonna bring both bad and good emotions and experience and like help you realizing things and wisdoms, I guess, and growth. And like it's gonna bring both negative and positive experiences. And because you already know and come to a realization that that's just how life cycle keep repeating itself, you sort of feel stuck in a rut. You sort of like you sort of feel stuck in a way because you sort of know how the cycle it's gonna go. Or maybe it's just me, I don't know. Or sometimes you know that you have to do it, but you're also sort of exhausted. You know that if you keep going it, you're probably gonna face negative experiences beside the positive ones. And that you probably gonna face rejections and failures and like it's just these things don't end. Of course you deal with it, you cope with it better emotionally over time as you age, but like it's just gonna keep going. It's a never ending loop. I don't know if there's a solution for it, because maybe the only solution is sort of like you're not alive anymore. That's when this sort of end. But then it's not exactly something as bad that you have to end, because that's just sort of like the reality of life. So throughout different video of this series, there are ones that when the video was out, I am not necessarily in the same headspace that I was when I made that video anymore, because it's captured the mindset and the emotional and the mental state that I was in at that specific moment when I was filming the video and the topic that I was talking about and covering on that video. So I usually am already in a different headspace at the time that video was out, or maybe in a different emotional and mental headspace and state, because talking and sharing about it helped me to process and move on quicker and shifted my mindset and emotions by sharing, I don't know, some relatable emotions. Human, we all have emotions, and those emotions are just part of the human wiring, that we all have those emotions no matter you show it out or express it out or not. And sort of like sharing the insights or the knowledge that might help anyone out there that going through the same thing. Maybe there's not a lot of you going through the same thing that I do, but like I know that somewhere out there there's people who feel that way. And that's the point of this whole series, not only to share about my life, but also sharing relatable emotions and feelings and experiences that maybe someone out there, maybe not a lot of you, at least one of you, gonna relate to it. I think at this time this video is released, I probably still feel that way somewhere inside my emotions, because I don't think we only feel one emotions. Like, there's no way that you only feel happy. Like, it's usually, or at least maybe for me, I don't know, maybe I'm just too complex, I don't know. But usually there's multiple emotions. Like, for example, when you have a crush on someone, it's not just the dopamine, it's like the whole euphoria, there's a bunch of emotions there. There's not just a feeling of happiness, of nervy, of sort of like self-conscious, sort of like being aware, sort of like very high dopamine, but sort of like euphoria in a way. It's sort of like you're on drugs in a way, but it's, yeah, there's a whole bunch of emotions to uncover there. So I know that this time this video is released, I probably would still feel that way somehow. Maybe it's less or more, I don't know. But that's gonna be one of the emotion that I sort of probably always sit there inside me, because this feeling comes and goes back and forth for me, and I think for all of us, because it's sort of like a cycle of life, you know. It's just, that's just how it is. So maybe if I'm in a different phase, or maybe I'm in a different life stage, but I know it will come back again, this feeling. But yeah, at the same time, to be creative, it requires you to living and keep experiencing life, to get inspired, to and get motivations, and sort of like feel included in society, and that's where all the inspirations come from, or at least with my style of creativity. But yeah, I don't think there's solutions for being stuck in a rut and like exhaustions, because I feel like it's more of like the emotion of sadness and happiness. It's keep repeating itself. These emotions, it's keep repeating itself. It's not gonna disappear, you know. It's just gonna keep repeating itself. Depends on life events. So yeah, I don't know how I start this video, and I'm probably just gonna end this here. It's a weird ending, but whatever. There's no solutions or anything that I think that I can give you for this specific dilemma. It's a never-ending dilemma, I guess, for all of us. So I think that's it. Yeah, thank you for watching. Like, comment, subscribe. I'll see you next time. Bye.